Well, you can't slow down and you can't turn around. Yeah, you can't trust anyone. You just sit there like a butterfly.
Welcome to Psychological Explorations with Dr. Michael Axelman and Daniela. We continue our musical psychology presentations of the psychological positions that are associated with development towards the depressive position. Today we look at the paranoid schizoid position, originally put forth by Melanie Klein and developed by Winnicott and many others. We explore through the lens of Van Morrison and his remarkable composition, Who Was That Masked Man?, which came out on the 1974 album Wiedenflies. Fleece. We'll first review the developmental positions, beginning with the autistic contiguous position, which is sensory-dominated pre-symbolic mode of generating experience. Anxiety in this mode consists of the unspeakable terror of dissolution, of boundedness. So the boundaries and the perimeter start to become established in the autistic contiguous position, and they're partially developed in the paranoid schizoid, where part objects are interacting with other part objects, and the tension states within, when they can't be contained, are projected outward. Okay? And then there's a move towards over control and organizing around these persecutors. The introjected idealized objects are the good objects that are getting protected through this operation. The move out of this position of the creation of persecutors in the paranoid schizoid operation is towards the acceptance of the loss, of the fragility of the relationship of two whole peoples interacting, giving up that capacity to over control the situation. Let's take a closer look at splitting, which is really the hallmark of the paranoid schizoid position. The chief characteristic of the paranoid schizoid position is the splitting of both self and object into good and bad. In this realm of relating, dominated by part objects and fragments of experience, there is at first little or no integration between the good, idealized, introjected objects and the bad. That is, internal states which cannot be tolerated, that are projected outward and return as persecutors. So this organizing around the persecutor, not getting you, keeping you safe, that's the bad part. And it's through that dance that there is relief. Paranoid refers to the central anxiety of sealing off the emergent budding self from the badness that surrounds. This experienced as coming from the outside, but ultimately derives from the projection. Paranoid anxiety can be understood in terms of anxiety about imminent annihilation and derives from a sense of the destructive instincts of the child. In this position, prior to the secure internalization of a good object to protect the ego. The immature ego deals with its anxiety by creating paranoia. That is, splitting off bad feelings and projecting them outward. And this way of living and relating, of course, can become a way of life and organize the life of a person or a human. The DSM identifies personality disorders that have been put together in what is familiarly called Cluster A. And this includes paranoid personality disorder, which is a pattern of suspiciousness and mistrust of others, not supported by evidence. Creating persecutors provides relief internally, as we talked about. Schizoid personality disorder, emotionally constricted, cold affect, a detachment from social relationships, apathy, and limited emotional expression. Can see that there are different ways of experience these axes between the paranoid and the schizoid. Schizotypal personality disorder is a pattern of extreme discomfort interacting socially, and distorted cognition and perceptions go along with this. So this is the outcome of somebody who's not able to move beyond the paranoid schizoid position and getting locked into a way of relating and a way of being, which is personality disordered. Okay, there's poor reality testing and lots of cognitive distortion associated with each one of these disorders. Let's go now to Van Morrison's remarkable song and kind of link it to this particular theme.
Oh, ain't it lonely when you're living with a gun? Well, you can't slow down and you can't turn around. Yeah, you can't trust anyone.
Yes, so you can see how the song begins here with the accent on isolation and paranoia, living with a gun, and how they're all associated with self-protection, right? In the absence of trust, in the absence of a stable, healthy attachment. We have another presentation on the transitional object that Blanky and the teddy bear, and somebody who's locked into the paranoid schizoid place, right, doesn't have access to any of those resources, and many times they're not available. They were never associated with a healthy attachment to begin with, and they're forced to engage in projection as a form of self-protection.
You just sit there like a butterfly. Yeah, you're all encased in glass. You're so fragile, you just may break, and you don't know who to ask.
Oh, this remarkable imagery of the butterfly encased in the glass. So fragile and unable to speak and connect with the outside world. There's that frozen schizoid place in which communication is really difficult, if possible at all.
You just sit there like a butterfly. You're well protected by the glass. You're such a rare collector when they throw away what's trash. You can hang suspended from a star, or wish on a toilet roll. You can just soak up the atmosphere like a fish inside a bowl.
All of this developed schizoid and paranoid imagery. Just remarkable sensitivity to this state of fragility that is captured in the paranoid schizoid position when somebody's tilted more towards the schizoid side. We move now to the end of the song.
Down, he'll be both safe and sound, and the hand does put the glove. And no matter what they tell you, there's good and evil in everyone.
And the song closes with just remarkable insight on the part of Van Morrison that there's good and evil in everyone, that the split between the good and the bad is contained. And it's because if you go above that, right, you can find ideas of safety and a good enough fit between the hand and the glove. These types of alignments allow somebody to move into that state of containing the good and the bad within them. And once you're in that place, you don't have to create persecutors anymore. You can move into the fragility of the depressive position and beyond that. Thank you for joining us today. Please come back for future presentations on psychological explorations. Take care for now.